Retirement, laying around, basking in the sun with nothing to do all day. Probably sounds like torture for a lot of you who are entrepreneurial minded, who've run your own businesses. You know, retirement is different for everybody, but for those who are used to running a business, having employees even, or just being your own boss, retirement can sound a little bit more scary. So today I've got 6 tips for entrepreneurs on how to transition into retirement without feeling like you're laying around wasting your days. I'm Jeff. This is the Retirement Mentality Channel. It's a place where I want to change your mentality about retirement. And today I'm going to do that for entrepreneurs. I myself have been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life. I owned a mortgage company for like 10 years. And then I've been in sales, which kind of had a boss, but you got working by yourself. And I've been a real estate agent for about 10 years. And I've had several little side businesses along the way that I've run. My college degree is in business management with an emphasis in entrepreneurship and small business. So my whole life I knew I wanted to be my own boss. I have an entrepreneur mindset. Even in retirement, I come up with a new business idea. When I was working, I came up with a new business idea about every day. Now it seems like it's about every other day. And my wife says the same thing. She said when I was working she says now that I'm retired, which is no. So most of my wonderful entrepreneurial ideas don't come to fruition, but the point is I have an entrepreneurial mind. And so today, these 6 tips will help other entrepreneurs, I think, transition into retirement. Because when you have your own business, it's really hard to walk away from it, especially if you don't have a kid to give it to, or maybe it's a business that's hard to sell. So it's really hard to know when to shut it down and just go full into retirement. So even if you're easing into retirement, you can use these 6 tips I'm going to give you today. The first one is to treat your retirement as your next startup. Don't just drift into retirement without a real plan. Like, make a business plan. That's why I'm going to tell you guys my mission statement at the end of this video. It can really help direct your focus. And so make like a business plan for your retirement. You got to know what you want to do. What are your passions? How do you want to fill your days? It's one of the things I harp on this channel all the time. People say you got to retire to something, which is true. Don't just retire from something, but most people who are self-employed probably love their companies and the jobs that they have. So you're definitely not retiring from something. You got to have something better to pull you away from the awesome business that you spent years or your whole life creating. So figure out what passions you have and how you really want to fill your days, and a business plan and a mission statement might be a good way to kind of find the things that could pull you into retirement. Number 2 is to keep a cash flow mindset. A lot of entrepreneurs think about cash flow, generating cash flow for the business. They have to figure out how to do payrolls and things. Oh man, I got some flies bugging me today. So keep that cash flow mindset and, take those budgeting skills that you have and use those to budget for your retirement. I just did a video. My previous video I just did was about budgeting for passions. And so you could go watch that if you want. I got a whole video on this. But you got to figure out what the passions are that you want and how much they cost, because a lot of people underestimate how much a passion costs. They say, I'm going to play golf once a week and it costs $100, but you forget about the cart and the lunch you're going to have with your buddies and the beers, and that you're going to go play another course in Ireland once a year. So figure out what your passion is and figure out how much it's going to cost, and don't be frugal with these passion numbers. Like, figure out what really it would cost to do it upright. You can always scale back, but it's better to have a broader idea of what your passions are going to cost in retirement. Number 3 is to design the life that you want. Don't just drift into retirement. A lot of people make this mistake when they budget for retirement. They pick a number. I own $1 million or 10 million or whatever number it is, and then they try to fit their life into that box that is that number. If you design the life that you want, then you can work until you have that number. It keeps you from working too long. It keeps you from retiring too soon. But it also keeps you from just drifting into retirement without knowing what you want to do. Design the life that you want. I bought this property here. I have 35 acres in Spain, and I'm not only designing my life around this property, I'm designing the property. I'm cutting trails into the property. I'm making some meadows, and I'm doing a lot of cool stuff up there. So design the life that you want so that you can budget for it. For you, maybe it's not designing 35 acres. Maybe it's mentoring other young entrepreneurs or starting a new business venture that takes up less time, that's more of a passion project. It's okay to work in retirement. I would say, retirement is when you don't have to get up and go to work every day. Even if you love your job and you have to get up and go to work every day to run that business, you're not retired. So you got to have the freedom to come and go as you want. When somebody called us earlier this year and they said, you want to go on a 10-day sailing cruise around the British Virgin Islands? And we just said, yes, we would. And we booked a ticket the next day and we went and flew down to the Virgin Islands on a whim and did a 10-day sailing trip. Like, if your business won't allow you to do that, then that's my definition of being retired. You got to have that time freedom. Number 4 is to leverage your network. You spend a lifetime or years and years developing a network, but instead of leveraging it to do deals, leverage it to get more information. Talk to your buddies who have retired and get ideas from them. Maybe even collaborate with some of them to do some of the passion projects that maybe you've been waiting to do later in life. So you have a whole network that you've leveraged to do deals. You leverage that network for retirement purposes. You know, maybe some of the guys or gals that you've done business with might have retired before you. Call them up. They could still be golf buddies. They could be happy hour buddies. They could be travel buddies. So leverage those connections and those networks that you've already put into place. You don't have to let all those connections go just because you're letting go of the business. Number 5 is to systematize the things in your life. And that can also mean to outsource them. As entrepreneurs and as the boss, as the leader, there's a lot of things that we delegate, whether it's the accounting, whether it's the bookkeeping, whether it's the cleaning of the bathrooms, whether it's just a personal assistant. Don't be afraid to systematize or delegate those things in retirement. Like, you know, set up routines for paying the bills or set up routines for cleaning the house if you're going to do it yourself. Systematize the things like you did in your business, in your life, and it'll help you keep on track, keep focused, and have more free time. And number 6 is to keep learning. Entrepreneurs have curious minds and we like to learn new skills. For me, whether it's learning how to fly my drone better or learning how to take care of the trees on this property and what kind of things I could plant on my 5 acres down by the river. There's a lot of things we can learn. I learned how to do new microphones. I just bought a new camera. I learned editing skills. There's a lot of things we keep learning in retirement, and we have curious minds as entrepreneurs. So don't be afraid to take classes or learn new skills and learn the things that make your passion project more fun and make you better at it, because keep that mind going. And now I shall read you my mission statement that I wrote for my own retirement. Before I do though, give me a thumbs up if you got anything out of this video. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing to the channel and I will keep making more of these videos for you. But here is the mission statement that I wrote. I'm going to read it. As I step into retirement, my mission is to live with purpose, peace, and fulfillment. I am committed to nurturing my physical, mental, and emotional well-being, strengthening bonds with family and friends, and embracing opportunities for learning, creativity, and meaningful contribution. Essential focus of this new chapter is restoring my 35 acres of mountain land to a more sustainable and manageable state, cultivating a deeper connection with the land, respecting its natural rhythms, and creating a space that brings both beauty and balance. I will use my time and freedom to explore passions, give back to my community, and savor the quiet joys of everyday life. Retirement for me is not an ending, but a transformation, a time to live intentionally, grow continually, and move forward with gratitude. I'm not gonna lie, ChatGPT helped me a little bit with that. But everything in there is true. I've spent a lot of time in this last year seeing old college buddies, reuniting with friends I haven't seen in a long time, rebalancing the balance of this land that I'm on, spending more time with family, and just also enjoying the joys of life. So it took me not a lot of time, but I put a fair amount of effort into that. The fruity, fluffy part was ChatGPT helping me out, but I gave it all the things that were important to me, and it came up with the flowery language. So write yourself a mission statement, do a business plan, cultivate and design the life that you want in retirement, and maybe you'll find something that'll pull you away from that business and you can actually live the retired life. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.